Hello everyone and welcome to Zeepkist Cup of the Week. For those of you who don't know how this works, we get 10 minutes to practice a map we've never seen before, after which there will be 2-minute elimination rounds where the slowest players get eliminated. This week's map is made by RTY. Ribbon Mines. Okay. Fast turns. Reminds me of those DD Nanana cave maps. Oh, that's a jump. I wasn't ready. Alright, so very high speed start. Then it kind of gets slower up here. You need that speed conservation. Carry speed through the map. Might have to change my particle settings. Woohoo! It's all these new V16 transition pieces that I don't quite have figured out yet. Oh, that was a little hard to see. Okay, and then it's an upwards finish. 15 speed, made it in. Okay, so that makes this heavily a speed conservation map then because of how slow the finish gets. It's a much better start already. That downhill feels like there's a slight chance you overspeed it, so actually kind of coming into it at an angle might be beneficial. And then, oh! Okay. Alright, this run is starting to get a lot worse. Now that I see this transition, I won't mess that up again, though. That'll give me a lot more speed. Theory of how to take this ending. There's a few different options there. I'll have to see what other people do. I'm gonna go steering limits just to try to stop myself from sliding out. It didn't help. Maybe I don't go steering limits. Maybe that's making things too complicated. I do feel pretty good about the first few corners. 147 speed, I'm going to remember that. We'll need to track speeds. It's a very V16 map. It's like almost entirely V16 pieces. Including a lot of the particle effects, which are cool. Yeah, RTY in chat pointing out as well, we got a lot of the showdown tags for people today. You can see on the leaderboard a lot of people with unusual tags. We've got showdown happening tomorrow at the time I'm recording this. Probably today or in the past by the time people watch this. Okay, oh, I landed it. I'm kind of surprised. Okay, yeah, there's a couple of specific ways you need to enter corners. Alright. So 44-0 is the author time. Nobody quite there yet. Oh, a little bit of a hop is probably not ideal. Let's see what my CP2 speed is. This is a decent run. I need to figure out how to do that corner. I think that was the best I've done it yet, but like minus the tire screeching. It feels like that's the turn I'm losing all my speed on. I think I've got the beginning pretty good. Some people going wide for this first turn, although I haven't felt like I needed it yet. Actually need to be a little bit wider on turn 2 because that's why I'm getting the hop, is I'm too far to the inside. Was okay. I got some airtime. That's the one corner that's really throwing me. That, and I'm not sure how to do the ending yet, 'cause there's a lot of different approaches. Zoman joined the game. Haven't seen him around in a while. $148. I feel like I can be faster there. I haven't had a perfect run yet. Pretty consistently getting around 148 though. And 133 is a personal best at checkpoint 2. Oh, speedy. Yeah, I just kind of follow the middle line on that road piece, I think. And okay, so that's personal best. I'm trying to figure out how to do the ending. Might be worth watching somebody like Naomi or Hydro. It's a pretty stacked lobby we got. I'm tempted to turn particles off because of how blinding that can be, or changing it to bouncing particles, which might be the way it's intended. But I also don't want to mess with like some of these other particles that look really nice. I'm gonna see what bouncing particles does. I think it's graphics. Particle collisions. Just see if that looks better. There also is, I think, a tiny bit of an arms up tech at the start. It's kind of complicated, so I don't usually get into that, and it doesn't usually show itself in Cup of the Week, but I think if you hold arms up right at the beginning, you might gain a little bit more speed on the downhill. Yeah, there's just no smoke particles at all there instead. Oh, I'm all over the place. Only 12th place, which I think is more a case of how strong this lobby is, and not not so much that I'm struggling that badly. 145. I suppose that's why people are going a little bit wide at the start here, so that it's a little easier to set up the first turn without getting smoky tires. Like that was pretty clean. 147, but I kind of messed up the exit. This might be my last run in the warm-up round. Still like a tap of arms up there. I wonder if you can get fast enough so that there's no arms up at all. Okay, I feel a lot better about that turn now. Just trying different lines at the end. It's only 146. I thought that felt pretty smooth. Alright, this is probably a player's off map because I get the feeling people are really going to block my vision. So only 12th in the warm-up round. 43-7 by Hydro. Few people in the 43s. Quick Racer just getting in the 43s. Not as high up the leaderboard as I'd like, but I think that's more just because of who's in this lobby. So I'm gonna need to really focus here. I feel like I haven't gotten a super clean run yet. It's hard to get every corner of this correct. Especially because a couple of these corners are so fast. Stay on, please. No, okay. This is the kind of track that was terrible, but let's just take a finish. This is the kind of track I would expect myself to be good on because it's mostly just lines and not a whole lot of jump transitions or any low traction sections. That being said, at this speed, sometimes it feels like the entire track is low traction. Very safe line into the finish, but I just need to get a time, which I have, and let's see who I can find that's on a run. Nobody. Zoman's pretty early in a run. Okay, I guess I'm not gonna find anybody. That's the problem with trying to spectate in round one, is there's just so many people. I was hoping to catch somebody's end line at the very end. And yes, Quick Racer, what a lobby indeed. A lot of former Cup of the Week winners, a lot of people who don't have wins but have gotten very close. A lot of showdown participants, as you can see by the team tags. And quite a lot of DNFs. I feel like the high speed kind of makes this a harder track to finish consistently. I don't think it's a particularly difficult track, but to get the finish in 2 minutes could be a little bit of a challenge. Little bit of air. I think some of this is just going to be me mentally getting more comfortable with that final corner, trying to find the limit between taking that as tight as possible and not falling off of the wall. There's the 148 again. I think a lot of the speed on this track is going to come from using very minimal steering inputs, which I have not been doing particularly well so far. Oh, man, that was not a clean transition. I'm still up. There we go. That's more the that's the line at the end. That felt pretty good. So most people getting a time in this round, still 15 seconds to go. Yeah, these are very interesting track pieces because it's right on the edge of like falling off because of strange bumps and trying to ride it super smoothly. Energy looking good though. 43.6 in that round. That is the record at the moment. That was interesting. Only 146, but let's take a run. Really trying to steer as little as possible, because I do think that's where I'm losing some time. Kind of setting up for corners that I think should be more of a straight line between two corners. There's another 44.6 though, I'm pretty happy with that. Good to have that 44.6 as sort of my consistent time. Let's see what the speed is here, because that was not great. That was more speed though. 49 is not something I have done at CP1 yet. There we go. That was good. Also, this might be. Oh, it's just a touch of arms up. Thank goodness I did do that, because I would have crashed there. And then I threw it all away. That was pretty neat at the ending, though. So, was I faster because I was better on the steering, or was I faster because of the wide line I took in turn 2? I think just better steering. I think I can have that minus 0.2 while keeping the 149 speed. 11th in that round. I'm still struggling to break this top 10. But to be fair, look at the 10 names above me. And even a few of the names below me. This is a strong lobby. Nice turn 1. Nice turn 2. Run it out wide a little bit. There we go. 146, are you kidding me? .135 is still pretty good. It was a little bit wide. But it's not super comfortable. Got that corner pretty neat though. Ooh. Oh, okay, I thought I was falling off the wall. It's possible that with going wide there, you just are steering so lightly that that actually is where the speed save comes from. Oh, and I did get a little bit of air on that downhill that time. There we go. I think I could take that corner much better, like I did on that time. Okay, this has been my tidiest run yet. Nice! 44.1. Almost up to the 43s. Renergy looking good. Grenergy's the only one in the 0.6s, but it hasn't been consistent. Quick Racer looking pretty fast as well. So we're already into the top 20. Partially because we had a big DNF round. Still a bit of a time gap between where I am and that, like, 12th and below, kinda. So I should be safe for a few more rounds. And I think I'm really gonna need to start pushing it. 150! Yeah, I kinda had to go down a little bit of an angle there to keep my tires on the track. That's actually kind of a fun little mechanic that as you get faster you need to kind of change the angle you take that downhill. And a little bit of a hop, but not too bad. I'm really fast through here. It feels fast. Okay. Alright, 43-7, super bad ending, but really good rest of run. I even got that 150 without going too wide on this first, on turn 2 there. It's only 5th though, the 0.7. As now everybody else starts getting the 0.6s. Feel like I could be better. Yeah, I'll take another reset. Why not? I ran a little wide at the end. I kind of just followed the line in the middle of the road, actually. That was pretty good. Oh, ran it out a bit wide at the end. Oh, somehow came back onto the track. And into the lava pit. Oh, not quite. 4 eliminations this round, 44.8 was the time on the margin there. 3 eliminations in the next round. And then 2 eliminations after that. It's starting to get to the point where I think I'm going to need to really push it. That's probably not a great way to start. It was kind of a tidy turn 3 though. 34 is not amazing. This feels like a good run that's just got a little bit too little speed. Although you do hit 200 speed there, which is gonna even things out a little. Not the greatest ending either. Final corner was okay. 0.5 is probably safe, but it'll be tight. Ooh. See what my CP1 speed is. Really good somehow, despite me hitting the post on this side. Grazed it, but I don't think I lost too much speed. Pushed me out a little wide. It was a pretty good transition. I was a little afraid I was going to fall off there, but did not. And this should be, well, kind of a bad final corner, but a little bit of an improvement up to 9th, which is not great, but it looks like I did get through to the double elimination rounds at least. Yeah, following the line in the middle of the road is pretty solid there. Not a lot that can go wrong doing that. So still looking mid to high 47s. 2 people with a 0.6. And the top 10, 0.3 or above. So I'm going to need some pretty good times here. Probably not the greatest start. Yeah, 149 though, I'll take it. Ah, man, I thought I had that. It was a really straight line through that little S bend. Oh, well, that was... the tire smoke messed me up. Okay, 135 is okay. It's a decent start. Not my best. Might be enough to get through this round. This is actually my only run. Not the best ending either. It's going to be tight on if this makes it through. It's not. Cool. I'm out. Unfortunate. I feel like I had this map pretty good, but there's just a lot of good players in this lobby, I think. See if Round gets a time at the end. He does. So Psycho and myself out in 11th and 12th. Man, 0.1s to get through is pretty crazy. I had that one time that was a 43.7. Just couldn't replicate that, though. 43.5, is that the fastest we've seen? 5.12 by Naomi. Naomi is looking pretty fast here. Hydro's looking pretty fast. We've got a whole bunch of people who are just good players left in the top 10. Oh, that's settings. That's not where I want to be. Let's turn players back on. Hydra's in the midst of the pack here, passing a bunch of people. And resetting. Hydro and Naomi actually right here. So it'll be interesting to watch then, because these are the two fastest racers in the last round. Hydro goes a bit wider to set up for turn 1. And a little bit different lines through turn 2. Yeah, I didn't think Naomi's was very good, so it makes sense on the reset. Yeah, Hydro actually gets some pretty significant airtime there. Does do the little sideways line. Not sideways, but, you know, moving across the track to try to reduce that airtime. Just really neat through there. It's a good run, just not messing up, which is a lot harder to do than it looks. I know, because I only really had one run that was smooth. See what Naomi can do at the very end here. I don't think this is the highest speed we've seen through here. That will be enough to get Naomi through into the next round, probably. St. Nick needs a time. Is at the beginning still, and Linhart needs to improve as well. 0.1s was what everybody left did in the previous round. Looks like 0.1 might be the knockout again, as Linhart does get the 0.147, which puts Butter in a bit of trouble. Nick is fast, but seems in control. And it is only a 44.3 for St. Nicholas, so Nick and Butter are out. Hydro with a 0.4, and then Zoman equaling the 512. Zoman probably doesn't have GTR updated, but that's two people with 0.512s. Hydro looking very fast as well. Who should we watch here? Please Zoman. Zoman's in the back. We're seeing a few different lines. It's not like there's just one line that's working through the first couple corners. Everyone does go pretty low there. Cut across the track. Minimal steering if you can. Zoom in very tight to the inside. Oop, one person, I think it was Naomi, hits the ledge on landing. Trying to optimize the arms up. Zoom in with a bit of airtime. Not really seeing... Zoman's kind of catching the pack now. And that was a bit of a different line for that ending as well. Not a whole lot of people really separating themselves from the rest of the pack, and we see that in the times as well. Let's see who needs a time. Naomi needs a time. Here's where they crashed last run. Gets the arms up correct that time around. Linhart equals the author time. A little bit of error for Naomi. It's a pretty clean transition right at the end there. It was super tight to the inside line. And that is only a 0.8, and Naomi just doesn't have enough time. Round and Renergy need times. Renergy's coming towards the end. Still with a few corners to go. Round is at the beginning. Zoman with the 0.510 that time. Improves his personal best by 2 milliseconds. Renergy is out in the bottom 2, and Round... crosses the line and improves over Linhart. So I think that is Linhart and Renergy out in 7th and 8th. That puts us back to where we were a couple weeks ago, where it is all previous Cup of the Week winners except for Quick Racer. So Zoman's statistically the favorite with 12 Cup of the Week wins. Round has 9, Hydro has 4. Seabed and Naomi have 1 each. And let's watch, we'll watch Naomi. Naomi's sort of towards the back of the pack. You can see most of them. Seabed goes a bit higher there. Quick Racer a bit further to the inside on the second half of turn 2. Now we see behind Naomi, Hydro catching all of them. Oh, Naomi with a very tight line there, though. That was a very clean turn. So we got Hydro's bumper getting an air camera. Naomi starting to catch Seabed as well. Oh, Seabed goes very wide on that corner. Hydro starting to catch up again. Naomi and Hydro seem to be on good runs. Most others have reset. And Hydro had a very good last corner as well. Puts Hydro in the lead. 0.6 is the slowest time so far, which is pretty insane. Round clipped a little bit on the inside, and that might have cost him his 0.6. Zoman coming towards the end as well. All of these guys still have one more run. Zoman gets a 0.5. This is an insane round. Quick Racer goes fastest with a 0.486. So Round is the one that needs to improve. And Quick Racer sets the world record. 0.6 in the elimination zone is pretty insane. That also seems to be where we've gotten with the Cup of the Weeks recently. The lobbies are getting so stacked that it truly is... Oh, Round has reset. That is Round out. It really has gotten to the point where the top 6 are being separated by 0.2, right? The top 5 right now is 1.5 tenths of a second. And it looks like nobody is still driving. Oh, Quick Racer's still driving. See if he can improve on that world record. And that was a really tough round. Yep, as Hydra says, Quick's the only one here without a Cup of the Week win. And he's looked pretty good in that round. He might have a chance. Quick Racer has been getting close the past few weeks. Let's see if I can spectate in this cave at all, or if I'm just going to need to go into follow cam. Still a few different lines in turn 2. It's kind of interesting to see. A lot of people resetting, and it's just Seabad left, so I guess we'll just go into follow cam and see what Seabad does. Seabad was the slowest remaining in the last round, and Seabad also resets. Hydro in turn 1, we got some people up ahead, a lot of resets happening. Everybody's still at the beginning of the track. Naomi resets again. I don't think anybody has gotten out of this first wood plank section. Quick Racer might be the furthest along, makes the jump into the stone section of the track. Looks pretty clean again. I think runs a little bit wider than he would have liked there. Does a bit more of the Zoman line, cutting that very tight, but getting it very smooth. A 43.404. Quick Racer is just getting faster. That's good news if he's on for his first Cup of the Week win. Hydro very close to the beginning of the track still. A lot of these guys very close to the beginning. Naomi is out. It is too late for Naomi to get a time. Most of these guys still at the beginning of the track. I mean, this is the only runs for most of these racers left. Zoman gets his time. It's only a 0.756. That will be safe because there's at least one DNF. Seabad comes in with a 0.596. Hydro is pretty close on whether he's going to make it to the end or not. Looks like he will. Just needs to make it into the finish ring. 0.770. A slower round than the previous, with the exception of Quick Racer, who gets even faster. 0.404. Almost a whole tenth ahead of Hydro's best time behind him. I think Zoman... doesn't have GTR, but I think it's a low 0.5. So, Quick Racers, Seabed Cruisers, Zomin, and Hydro are the top 4. Yeah, everybody spreads out in turn 2 and then comes right back together. Ooh, Hydro doesn't quite get as good of a line through that downhill this time around. A little bit wide, not right on the inside line around that corner either. Interestingly, no resets this time. So last round, it looked like hardly anybody might even get a finish. This round, no resets at all. Hydro a bit more left on that little bump there. Oh, man, runs really high but doesn't fall off the track. Hydro does a much lower swing at the end, more like what I was doing. Everybody else goes for the right side entrance. And that is a pretty terrible round for these 4 racers. Second runs coming through. Quick Racer in the back now resets. Seabad resets. Hydro and Zomin continuing on. Hydro has the slowest time at the moment. And all of these guys are a tenth or two off of what their personal bests are. Zomin resets, getting quite a bit of airtime. Hydro has a much better line. Still runs out a little bit wide around that corner. Just kind of keep an eye on what others are doing. Quick Racer is right at the beginning, so Quick Racer is going to need a big snipe. Hydro, much better on that corner this time around. Still goes for this left side entrance. We'll head up to the finish. Pretty tight final corner and goes fastest in this round. Seabad and Quick Racer need time. He's going to keep an eye on Quick Racer because he is... actually, Seabad is the slowest, but Quick Racer is now the one in trouble. Needs to improve. Has the world record. But can he do that again in this round? It looks pretty clean. Looks pretty fast. Does this right side entrance, which I think seems smoother. And, oh, it's very close. Does he get there? He doesn't get there in time. So 43.7. Quick Racer is eliminated. There's only Cup of the Week winners left. Hydro, Seabad, and Zomin in the podium places. See this turn 2 line. Hydro goes much more inside. Seabad and Zomin run a bit wider. Hydro resets. Zomin seems to be passing Seabad already. Zomin on a very fast run. Oh, I think hit the post on the inside. Seabad got very close to the post that time. I don't think this is a very good run from Seabad. He was already getting passed by Zomin, then I think he had to dodge that post. And kind of splits the difference between the Hydro and Zomin lines at the final transition. Into the finish, 43.8. Hydro, ooh, very close to the left side of the road. Handles that bump of the road pretty nicely for the left side entrance. And then Hydro with the sort of far left entrance is a little bit more middle, actually. And very good final corner, 43.5. Zomin now, the one coming towards the end of the track. I think Zomin might just have this one run. Zomin with the more right side entrance to the final transition, and then up the final corner, wheel off the track and does get the finish as a 0.6 and does not have time to improve. It is all on Seabad now at the beginning of the track with just enough time to finish. Needs to improve to a 43.6. Looks a bit better than last time around through this section. That tap of arms up, land cleanly. Pretty tight inside line. Looks like a good run so far. Zomin did have that little error on the very final corner. Does that make the difference? Will Seabad get the snipe into the finals? He does, and goes fastest of the 3 of them. So Zomin eliminated. That just leaves Hydro with 4 Cup of the Week wins and Seabad with 1. One of them will add to that in 2 minutes' time. Here we go, into the finals. Hydro versus Seabad. Hydro does a bit wider entrance into turn 1. Gives him a slightly easier setup, but it's a little bit longer route. On the other hand, Seabad has a bit of a longer route around turn 2 and then resets after going over that bump and getting that CP1 split. Hydro a little bit of airtime, but not too bad through that section. But takes that corner a little bit wider than others have been. Gets a clean landing there. Quick Racer praying for the fastest time. Let's see if Hydro or Seabad snag that world record from him in the final round. We have had some very strong finals recently. Hydro with the .581. That is a strong time, but it is not the .40 world record. Hydro's personal best is a .49. He's the only other one in the .4s. What can Seabad do? Can Seabad get close to Hydro's time? I think has a cleaner line through this like CP1 to CP3 stint, but Hydro seems faster everywhere else. Coming towards the end, this will be Seabad's only run. Oh, very inside, and falls off the track, so Seabad is out. A bit too far to the inside, got some airtime, and I think that ran him up the track. Hydro looking to steal Quick Racer's fastest time. Right at the end here, almost does it, but not quite. Hydro with a personal best and a 5th Cup of the Week win, getting close to a 2nd Yahtzee as well. If he gets 5 of every finish between 1st and 5th, only needs 1 more 4th place finish. Thank you all for watching this video. If you want to see the stats and results, I will post the link to that spreadsheet in the description, and if you would like to join Cup of the Day, join the CTR Discord in the description below as well. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!